Hello everyone. Question is an SAP solution architect is designing an SAP HANA scale-out architecture for SAP Business Warehouse SAP BW on SAP HANA on AWS. The SAP solution architect identifies the design as a three-node scale-out deployment of X1E 32X large Amazon EC2 instances. The SAP Solutions Architect must ensure that the SAP HANA scale-out nodes can achieve the low latency and high throughput network performance that are necessary for node-to-node communication. Which combination of steps should the SAP Solutions Architect take to meet these requirements? Select two options. Option A, create a cluster placement group. Launch the instances into the cluster placement group. Option B, create a spread placement group. Launch the instances into the spread placement group. Option C, create a partition placement group. Launch the instances into the partition placement group. Option D, based on the operating system version, verify that enhanced networking is enabled on all the nodes. Option E, switch to a different instance family that provides network throughput that is greater than 25 Gbps. Correct answer is option C and option E. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company needs to migrate its critical SAP workloads from an on-premises data center to AWS. The company has a few source production databases that are 10 TB or more in size. The company wants to minimize the downtime for this migration. As part of the proof of concept, the company used a low-speed, high-latency connection between its data center and AWS. During the actual migration, the company wants to maintain a consistent connection that delivers high bandwidth and low latency. The company also wants to add a layer of connectivity resiliency. The backup connectivity does not need to be as fast as the primary connectivity. An SAP solution architect needs to determine the optimal network configuration for data transfer. The solution must transfer the data with minimum latency. Which configuration will meet these requirements? Option A, set up one AWS Direct Connect connection for connectivity between the on-premises data center and AWS. Add an AWS site-to-site VPN connection as a backup to the Direct Connect connection. Option B, set up an AWS Direct Connect gateway with multiple Direct Connect connections that use a link aggregation group LAG between the on-premises data center and AWS. Option C, set up Amazon Elastic File System, Amazon EPS file system storage between the on-premises data center and AWS. Configure a cron job to copy the data into this EFS mount. Access the data in the EFS file system from the target environment. Option D, set up two redundant AWS site-to-site VPN connections for connectivity between the on-premises data center and AWS. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company wants to migrate its SAP ERP landscape to AWS. The company will use a highly available distributed deployment for the new architecture. Clients will access SAP systems from a local data center through an AWS site-to-site VPN connection that is already in place. An SAP solution architect needs to design the network access to the SAP production environment. Which configuration approaches will meet these requirements? Select two options. Option A for the ASCS instance, configure an overlay IP address that is within the production VPC CIDR range. Create an AWS transit gateway, attach VPN to the transit gateway. Use the transit gateway to route the communications between the local data center and the production VPC. Create a static route on the production VPC to route traffic that is directed to the overlay IP address to the ASCS instance. Option B for the ASCS instance, configure an overlay IP address that is outside the production VPC CIDR range. Create an AWS transit gateway. Attach the VPN to the transit gateway. Use the transit gateway to route the communications between the local data center and the production VPC. Create a static route on the production VPC to route traffic that is directed to the overlay IP address to the ASCS instance. Option C for the ASCS instance, configure an overlay IP address that is within the production VPC CIDR range. Create a target group that points to the overlay IP address. Create a network load balancer and register the target group. Create a static route on the production VPC to route traffic that is directed to the overlay IP address to the ASCS instance. Option D for the ASCS instance, configure an overlay IP address that is outside the production VPC CIDR range. Create a target group that points to the overlay IP address. Create a network load balancer and register the target group. Create a static route on the production VPC to route traffic that is directed to the overlay IP address to the ASCS instance. Option E for the ASCS instance, configure an overlay IP address that is outside the production VPC CIDR range. Create a target group that points to the overlay IP address. Create an application load balancer and register the target group. Create a static route on the production VPC to route traffic that is directed to the overlay IP address to the ASCS instance. Correct answer is option A and option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company is running an SAP HANA database on AWS. The company is running AWS backend agent for SAP HANA AWS backend agent on an Amazon EC2 instance. AWS back agent is configured to backup to an Amazon S3 bucket. The backups are failing with an access denied error in the AWS backend agent log file. What should an SAP basis administrator do to resolve this error? Option A, assign execute permissions at the operating system level for the AWS backend agent binary and for AWS backend agent. Option B. Assign an IAM role to an EC2 instance. Attach a policy to the IAM role to grant access to the target S3 bucket. Option C. Assign the correct region ID for the S3 bucket AWS region parameter in AWS backint agent or the SAP HANA configuration file. Option D. Assign the value for the enable tagging parameter in AWS backint agent for the SAP HANA configuration file. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company is starting a new project to implement an SAP landscape with multiple accounts that belong to multiple teams in the US East 2 region. These teams include procurement, finance, sales, and human resources. An SAP solutions architect has started designing this new landscape and the AWS account structures. The company wants to use automation as much as possible. The company also wants to secure the environment, implement federated access to accounts, centralize logging, and establish cross-account security audits. In addition, the company's management team needs to receive a top-level summary of policies that are applied to the AWS accounts. What should the SAP Solutions Architect do to meet these requirements? Option A. Use AWS Cloud Formation Stack sets to apply SCPs to multiple accounts in multiple regions. Use an Amazon CloudWatch dashboard to check the applied policies in the accounts. Option B. Use an AWS Elastic Beanstalk blue-green deployment to create IAM policies and apply them to multiple accounts together. Use an Amazon CloudWatch dashboard to check the applied policies in the accounts. Option C. Implement guardrails by using AWS Code Deploy and AWS Code Pipeline to deploy SCPs into each account. Use the Code Pipeline Deployment dashboard to check the applied policies in the accounts. Option D. Apply SCPs through AWS Control Tower. Use the AWS Control Tower integrated dashboards to check the applied policies in the accounts. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company is running its SAP workloads on premises and needs to migrate the workloads to AWS. All the workloads are running on SUSE, Linux Enterprise Server, and Oracle Database. The company's landscape consists of SAP ERP, Central Component, SAP ECC, SAP Business Warehouse, SAP BW, and SAP NetWeaver systems. The company has a dedicated AWS Direct Connect connection between its on-premises environment and AWS. The company needs to migrate the systems to AWS with the least possible downtime. Which migration solution will meet these requirements? Option A. Use SAP Software Provisioning Manager to perform an export of the systems. Copy the export to Amazon S3. Use SAP Software Provisioning Manager to perform an import of the systems to SUSE, Linux Enterprise Server, and Oracle Database on AWS. Option B. Use SAP Software Provisioning Manager to perform parallel export import of the systems to migrate the systems to SUSE Linux Enterprise servers and Oracle database on AWS. Option C. Use SAP Software Provisioning Manager to perform parallel export or import of the systems to migrate the systems to Oracle Enterprise Linux and Oracle Database on AWS. Option D. Use SAP Software Provisioning Manager to perform an export of the systems. Copy the export to Amazon S3. Use SAP Software Provisioning Manager to perform an import of the systems to Oracle Enterprise, Linux and Oracle Database on AWS. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company is designing a disaster recovery DR strategy for an SAP HANA database that runs on an Amazon EC2 instance in a single availability zone. The company can tolerate a long RTO and an RPO greater than 0 if it means that the company can save money on its DR process. The company has configured an Amazon CloudWatch alarm to automatically recover the EC2 instance if the instance experiences an unexpected issue. The company has set up AWS Back INT agent for SAP HANA to save the backups into Amazon S3. What is the most cost-effective DR option for the company's SAP HANA database? Option A. Set up AWS CloudFormation to automatically launch a new EC2 instance for the SAP HANA database in a second availability zone from backups that are stored in Amazon S3. When the SAP HANA database is operational, perform a database restore by using the standard SAP HANA restore process. Option B. Launch a secondary EC2 instance for the SAP HANA database on a less powerful EC2 instance type in a second availability zone. Configure SAP HANA system replication with the preload option turned off. Option C. Launch a secondary EC2 instance for the SAP HANA database on an equivalent EC2 instance type in a second availability zone. Configure SAP HANA system replication with the preload option turned on. Option D. Set up AWS CloudFormation to automatically launch a new EC2 instance for the SAP HANA database in a second availability zone from backups that are stored in Amazon Elastic Block Store, Amazon EBS. When the SAP HANA database is operational, perform a database restore by using the standard SAP HANA restore process. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company is using a multi-account strategy for SAP HANA and SAP BW for HANA instances across development, QA, and production systems in the same AWS region. Each system is hosted in its own VPC. The company needs to establish cross-VPC communication between the SAP systems. The company might add more SAP systems in the future. The company must create connectivity across the SAP systems and hundreds of AWS accounts. The solution must maximize scalability and reliability. Which solution will meet these requirements? Option A, create an AWS transit gateway in a central networking account. Attach the transit gateway to the AWS accounts. Set up routing and a network ACL to establish communication. Option B, set up VPC peering between the accounts. Configure routing in each VPC to use the VPC peering links. Option C, create a transit VPC that uses the hub and spoke model. Set up routing to use the transit VPC for communication between the SAP systems. Option D, create a VPC link for each SAP systems. Use the VPC links to connect the SAP systems. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company is planning to deploy a new SAP NetWeaver ABAP system on AWS with an Oracle database that runs on an Amazon EC2 instance. The company needs a database storage solution that provides flexibility to adjust the IOPS regardless of the allocated storage size. Which solution will meet these requirements most cost effectively? Option A, general purpose SSD GP3 Amazon Elastic Block Store Amazon EBS volumes. Option B, Amazon Elastic File System Amazon EFS Standard Infrequent Access Standard IA Storage Class. Option C, Amazon FSx for Windows File Server. Option D, provisioned IOPS SSD IoT Amazon Elastic Block Store Amazon EBS volumes. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company is using SAP NetWeaver with Java on AWS. The company has updated its generation of Amazon EC2 instances to the most recent generation of EC2 instances. When the company tries to start SAP, the startup fails. The TOG indicates that the SAP license expired of is not valid. What is the reason for this issue? Option A, the instance ID changed as part of the EC2 generation change. Option B, the instance's hypervisor changed from Zen to Nitro. Option C, the SAP Java Virtual Machine SAP JVM is not compatible with the new instance type. Option D, an EC2 generation change is not supported for SAP Java-based systems. Correct answer is option B. Question is, a global enterprise is running SAP ERP Central Component SAP ECC workloads on Oracle in an on-premises environment. The enterprise plans to migrate to SAP S/4HANA on AWS. The enterprise recently acquired two other companies. One of the acquired companies is running SAP ECC on Oracle as its ERP system. The other acquired company is running an ERP system that is not from SAP. The enterprise wants to consolidate the three ERP systems into one ERP system on SAP S/4HANA on AWS. Not all the data from the acquired companies needs to be migrated to the final ERP system. The enterprise needs to complete this migration with a solution that minimizes cost and maximizes operational efficiency. Which solution will meet these requirements? Option A, perform a lift and shift migration of all the systems to AWS. Migrate the ERP system that is not from SAP to SAP ECC. Convert all three systems to SAP S/4HANA by using SAP Software Update Manager (SUM). Database migration option DMO. Consolidate all three SAP S/4HANA systems into a final SAP and 4HANA system. Decommission the other systems. Option B, perform a lift and shift migration of the systems to AWS. Migrate the enterprise's initial system to SAP HANA and then perform a conversion to SAP S/4HANA. Consolidate the two systems from the acquired companies with the SAP S/4HANA system by using the selective data transition approach with SAP Data Management and Landscape Transformation (DMLT). Option C, use SAP Software Update Manager (SUM) database migration option DMO with system move to re-architect the enterprise initial system to SAP S/4HANA and to change the platform to AWS. Consolidate the two systems from the acquired companies with the SAP S/4HANA system by using the selective data transition approach with SAP Data Management and Landscape Transformation (DMLT). Option D, use SAP Software Update Manager (SUM) database migration option DMO with system move to re-architect all the systems to SAP S/4HANA and to change the platform to AWS. Consolidate all three SAP S/4HANA systems to a final SAP S/4HANA system. Decommission the other systems. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a data analysis company has two SAP landscapes that consist of sandbox development, QA, pre-production and production servers. One landscape is on Windows and the other landscape is on Red Hat Enterprise Linux. The servers reside in a room in a building that other tenants share. An SAP solution architect proposes to migrate the SAP applications to AWS. The SAP Solutions Architect wants to move the production backups to AWS and wants to make the backups highly available to restore in case of unavailability of an on-premises server. Which solution will meet these requirements most cost effectively? Option A, take a backup of the production servers, implement an AWS storage gateway, volume gateway, create file shares by using the storage gateway, volume gateway, copy the backup files to the file shares through NFS and 9 MB. Option B, take a backup of the production servers, send those backups to tape drives, implement an AWS storage gateway, tape gateway, send the backups to Amazon S3, standard infrequent access S3 standard IA through the S3 console. Move the backups immediately to S3 Glacier Deep Archive. Option C. Implement a third-party tool to take images of the SAP application servers and database server. Take regular snapshots at 1 hour intervals. Send the snapshots to Amazon S3 Glacier directly through the S3 Glacier console. Store the same images in different S3 buckets in different AWS regions. Option D. Take a backup of the production servers. Implement an Amazon S3 file gateway. Create file shares by using the S3 file gateway. Copy the backup files to the file shares through NFS and SMB. Map backup files directly to Amazon S3. Configure an S3 lifecycle policy to send the backup files to S3 Glacier based on the company's data retention policy. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company is running an SAP on Oracle system on IBM Power Architecture in an on-premises data center. The company wants to migrate the SAP system to AWS. The Oracle database is 15 TB in size. The company has set up a 100 Gbps AWS Direct Connect connection to AWS from the on-premises data center. Which solution should the company use to migrate the SAP system most quickly? Option A. Before the migration window, build a new installation of the SAP system on AWS by using SAP Software Provisioning Manager. During the migration window, export a copy of the SAP system and database by using the heterogeneous system copy process and R3 load. Copy the output of the SAP system files to AWS through the Direct Connect connection. Import the SAP system to the new SAP installation on AWS. Switch over to the SAP system on AWS. Option B. Before the migration window, build a new installation of the SAP system on AWS by using SAP Software Provisioning Manager. Backup the Oracle database by using native Oracle tools. Copy the backup of the Oracle database to AWS through the Direct Connect connection. Import the Oracle database to SAP system on AWS. Configure Oracle Data Guard to begin replication on-premises database log changes from the SAP system to the new AWS system. During the migration window, use Oracle to replicate any remaining changes to the Oracle database hosted on AWS. Switch over to the SAP system on AWS. Option C. Before the migration window, build a new installation of the SAP system on AWS by using SAP Software Provisioning Manager. Create a staging Oracle database on-premises to perform cross-platform transportable tablespace (XTTS) conversion on the Oracle database. Take a backup of the converted staging database. Copy the converted backup to AWS through the Direct Connect connection. Import the Oracle database backup to the SAP systems on AWS. Take regularly scheduled incremental backups and XTTS conversions of the staging database. Transfer these backups and conversions to the AWS target database. During the migration window, perform a final incremental Oracle backup. Convert the final Oracle backup by using XTTS. Replay the logs in the target Oracle database hosted on AWS. Switch over to the SAP systems on AWS. Option D. Before the migration window, launch an appropriately sized Amazon EC2 instance on AWS to receive the migrated SAP database. Create an AWS Server Migration Service AWS SMS job to take regular snapshots of the on-premises Oracle hosts. Use AWS SMS to copy the snapshot as an AMI to AWS through the Direct Connect connection. Create a new SAP on Oracle system by using the migrated AMI. During the migration window, take a final incremental SMS snapshot and copy the snapshot to AWS. Restart the SAP system by using the new up-to-date AMI. Switch over to the SAP system on AWS. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company hosts multiple SAP applications on Amazon EC2 instances in a VPC. While monitoring the environment, the company notices that multiple port scans are attempting to connect to SAP portals inside the VPC. These port scans are originating from the same IP address block. The company must deny access to the VPC from all the offending IP addresses for the next 24 hours. Which solution will meet this requirement? Option A. Modify network ACLs that are associated with all public subnets in the VPC to deny access from the IP address block. Option B. Add a rule in the security group of the EC2 instances to deny access from the IP address block. Option C. Create a policy in AWS Identity and Access Management IAM to deny access from the IP address block. Option D. Configure the firewall in the operating system of the EC2 instances to deny access from the IP address block. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company that has SAP workloads on premises plans to migrate an SAP environment to AWS. The company is new to AWS and has no poor setup. The company has the following requirements. The application server and database server must be placed in isolated network configurations. SAP systems must be accessible to the on-premises end users over the Internet. The cost of communications between the application server and the database server must be minimized. Which combination of setups should an SAP solutions architect take to meet these requirements? Select two options. Option A. Configure a network load balancer for incoming connections from end users. Option B. Set up an AWS site-to-site VPN connection between the company's on-premises network and AWS. Option C. Separate the application server and the database server by using different VPCs. Option D. Separate the application server and the database server by using different subnets and network security groups within the same VPC. Option E. Set up an AWS Direct Connect connection with a private VIF between the company's on-premises network and AWS. Correct answer is option C and option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company has an SAP environment that runs on AWS. The company wants to enhance security by restricting Amazon EC2 Instance Metadata Service (IMDS) to IMDS v2 only. The company's current configuration option supports both IMD SVI and IMO SV2. The security enhancement must not create an SAP outage. What should the company do before it applies the security enhancement on EC2 instances that are running the SAP environment? Option A. Ensure that the SAP kernel versions are 7.4.5 or later. Option B. Ensure that the EC2 instances are Nitro-based. Option C. Ensure that the AWS data provider for SAP is installed on each EC2 instance. Option D. Stop the EC2 instances. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a company is running SAP ERP Central Component SAP ECC with a Microsoft SQL Server database on AWS. A solutions architect must attach an additional TB Amazon Elastic Block Store Amazon EBS volume. The company needs to write the SQL Server database backups to this EBS volume before moving the database backups to Amazon S3 for long-term storage. Which EBS volume type will meet these requirements most cost effectively? Option A. Throughput optimized HDD ST1. Option B. Provisioned IOPS SSD IO3. Option C. General purpose SSD GP3. Option D. Cold HDD SCI. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company is planning to move to AWS. The company wants to set up sandbox and test environments on AWS to perform proofs of concept POCs. Development and production environments will remain on premises until the POCs are completed. At the company's on-premises location, SAP router is installed on the same server as SAP Solution Manager. The company uses SAP Solution Manager to monitor the entire landscape. The company uses SAP router to connect to SAP support. The on-premises SAP Solution Manager instance must monitor the performance and server metrics of the newly created POC systems on AWS. The existing SAP router must be able to report any issues to SAP. What should an SAP solutions architect do to set up this hybrid infrastructure most cost effectively? Option A. Install a new SAP Solution Manager instance and a new SAP Router instance in the AWS environment. Connect the POC systems to these new instances. Use these new instances in parallel with the on-premises SAP Solution Manager instance and the on-premises SAP Router instance. Option B. Install a new SAP Solution Manager instance and a new SAP Router instance in the AWS environment. Install the Amazon CloudWatch agent on all on-premises instances. Push the monitoring data to the new SAP Solution Manager instance. Connect all on-premises systems and POC systems on AWS to the new SAP Solution Manager instance and the new SAP Router instance. Remove the on-premises SAP Solution Manager instance and the on-premises SAP Router instance. Use the new instances on AWS. Option C. Use AWS site-to-site VPN to connect the on-premises network to the AWS environment. Connect the POC systems on AWS to the on-premises SAP Solution Manager instance and the on-premises SAP Router instance. Option D. Add the POC systems on AWS to the existing SAP Transport Management system that is configured in the on-premises SAP systems. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company needs to implement high availability for its SAP S/4HANA system on AWS. The company will use a SUSE Linux Enterprise Server Clustering solution in private subnets across two availability zones. An SAP solutions architect must ensure that the solution can route traffic to the active SAP instance in this clustered configuration. What should the SAP solutions architect do to meet these requirements? Option A. Implement the SAP cluster solution by using a secondary private IP address. Reassign the secondary private IP address from one network interface to another network interface in the event of any failure that affects the primary instance. Option B. Implement the SAP cluster solution by using an elastic IP address. Mask the failure of an instance or software by rapidly remapping the address to another instance in the account. Option C. Implement the SAP Duster solution by using a public IP address. Use this public IP address for communication between the instances and the Internet. Option D. Implement the SAP Duster solution by using an overlay IP address that is outside the CIDR block of the VPC. Use overlay IP address routing to dynamically update the route table to point to the active node and provide external access by using a network load balancer or AWS transit gateway. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company uses an SAP Solution application that runs batch jobs that are performance sensitive. The batch jobs can be restarted safely. The SAP application has not application servers. The SAP application functions reliably as long as the SAP application availability remains greater than 60%. The company wants to migrate the SAP applications to AWS. The company is using a duster with two availability zones. How should the company distribute the SAP application servers to maintain system reliability? Option A. Distribute the SAP application servers equally across three partition placement groups. Option B. Distribute the SAP application servers equally across three availability zones. Option C. Distribute the SAP application servers equally across two availability zones. Option D. Create an Amazon EC2 auto-scaling group across two availability zones. Set a minimum capacity value of 4. Correct answer is option B. Question is, a company wants to migrate its SAP SHA a software from on-premises to AWS in a new week. An SAP Solutions architect plans to use AWS Launch Wizard for SAP to automate the SAP deployment on AWS. Which combination of steps must the SAP Solutions architect take to use Launch Wizard to meet these requirements? Select two options. Option A, download the SAP software files from the SAP support portal. Upload the SAP software files to Amazon S3. Provide the S3 bucket path as an input to Launch Wizard. Option B, provide the SAP S-user ID and password as inputs to Launch Wizard to download the software automatically. Option C, format the S3 tile path syntax according to the Launch Wizard deployment recommendation. Option D, use an AWS Cloud Formation template for the automated deployment of the SAP landscape. Option E, provision Amazon EC2 instances. Tag the instances to install SAP S/4HANA on them. Correct answer is option A and option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company is running SAP on any DB at a remote location that has slow and inconsistent internet connectivity. The company wants to migrate its system to AWS and wants to convert its database to SAP HANA during this process. Because of the inconsistent internet connection, the company has not established connectivity between the remote location and the company's VPC in the AWS cloud. How should the company perform this migration? Option A, migrate by using SAP HANA system replication over the internet connection. Specify a public IP address on the target system. Option B, migrate by using SAP Software Update Manager SUM database migration option DMO with system. Move use an AWS Snowball Edge storage optimized device to transfer SAP export files to AWS. Option C, migrate by using SAP HANA system replication with initialization through backup and restore. Use an AWS Snowball Edge storage optimized device to transfer the SAP export files to AWS. Option D, migrate by using SAP Software Update Manager SUM database migration option DMO with system. Move use Amazon Elastic File System Amazon EPS to transfer the SAP export files to AWS. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company is implementing SAP HANA on AWS according to the company's security policy. SAP backups must be encrypted. Only authorized team members can have the ability to decrypt the SAP backups. What is the most operationally efficient solution that meets these requirements? Option A, configure AWS backint agent for SAP HANA to create SAP backups in Amazon S3 bucket. After a backup is created, encrypt the backup by using client-side encryption. Share the encryption key with authorized team members only. Option B. Configure AWS backend agent for SAP HANA to use AWS Key Management Service AWS KMS for SAP backups. Create a key policy to grant decryption permission to authorized team members only. Option C. Configure AWS Storage Gateway to transfer SAP backups from a file system to an Amazon S3 bucket. Use an S3 bucket policy to grant decryption permission to authorized team members only. Option D. Configure AWS backend agent for SAP HANA to use AWS Key Management Service AWS KMS for SAP backups. Grant Object ACL decryption permission to authorized team members only. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe.